From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Welcome to Daybreak on this January 1st, 2026. Happy New Year, and thank you so much for joining us.
It's going to feel weird saying 2026 for a little while.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those, you got to get used to it for the first, few months.
Yeah,
We'll
usually by December, I'm good.
Then you're like, oh, it's 2026. My drive was a little bit slick this morning in Fishers. The roundabouts, like my car was sliding, and I had trouble getting through them. And we have I-65 and Greenwood northbound lanes closed for a crash.
Actually, we just reopened.
Oh, good.
Just reopened, so that's good. But
and then more issues in I-74 near Brownsburg, too,
that
right?
one's still closed out there. The good news is, at least as far as that goes, it looks like some of that heavier freezing drizzle mist is slowed down, morphed over into snow. So we're hoping the worst of what was out there is peaked. So we'll keep an eye on all that. For now, conditions, just regular old conditions, not even talking about the traffic. Not too pretty outside. Indianapolis Zoo, obviously, will be quiet today. I believe they are closed out today. Again, it wouldn't have been the best of days to visit anyway. It's kind of chilly outside. 25, feeling like 16 thanks to winds out of the north at 8. The airport no longer reporting any mist or drizzle in their neighborhood. And so hopefully that is a sign of better weather coming our way later this morning. The early morning hours were kind of nasty with that freezing drizzle. Right now, central parts of the state, very different. Kokomo 18 above freezing or at the freezing port. Bloomington, again, you're seeing this sort of rain, snow mix, this light wintry weather slowing down. Here was a look at kind of the morphing of that icy weather. You can see where the red formed out just north of Indy was where the worst of the freezing drizzle formed. We're now seeing most of this sort of graphic in the blue, meaning still slick roadways, still snowy roadways, but the icy coating is not quite as intense anymore. And as we move into the rest of the day, hopefully a little sunshine will help thaw out the rest of the roadways. 29, 30 degrees, about the warmest will likely end up being here in Indianapolis this afternoon. We move into tonight, which will be quiet and cold once again. Take a look at the traffic, however. We were just talking about it, and this was where we had that closure earlier. Now people moving right on through just fine. Again, not all of the closures that we had are reopened. There is even a little, car sort of shut down along I-65 just north of the Indianapolis area. This is 70 for out just near the green field area where you can see conditions, or excuse me, the Brownsburg area where conditions just to the west of town closed as far as those eastbound lanes go. Still looks pretty slick out there. At least, again, the rain, snow, or the little freezing mist type activity has slowed down. So much of this roadway has started to become a little easier to travel through, but still, Brownsburg all the way to about the Pittsboro area still closed due to that accident outside. And again, there's that little closure just north of downtown Indy, or not closure, excuse me, traffic incident going on. I believe there's a car stalled in the center lanes there. So most of the I-465 loop not actually looking too bad. Thankfully, just not that many people traveling around it. If these conditions were around in peak, travel times, it'd be a big headache out there. But for now, if you can stay at home, do so. We'll talk more coming up.
All Access Indy Pasadena, brought to you by First Merchants Bank.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hoosier, Happy New Year from IU. The school posted that video this morning saying it feels like 1968 as the football team prepares to play in the Rose Bowl for the first time since that year. Today is the day IU fans have been waiting for since the Big Ten championship.
The Hoosiers face Alabama with a trip to the college football playoff semifinals on the line. Sports director Anthony Calhoun has been giving us an all-access look at the Hoosiers all week out in California. He's in Pasadena ahead of tonight's huge game.
Well, thanks a lot. Hello from a rainy Pasadena, California. It rained throughout the day on Wednesday as these two teams get ready for the Rose Bowl. Number 1 IU against the 9th seed Alabama here in Pasadena. But if you talk to these players, they don't care about the rain, folks. They're only concerned about one thing, and that is getting a win coming up on Thursday in the Rose Bowl. IU comes in, as I mentioned, the number 1 seed in the college football playoffs. The Hoosiers find themselves just 3 wins away from winning the school's first national title. And as far as the line on this matchup here between IU and Alabama, the Hoosiers find themselves a 7-point favorite against a school that has won 18 national titles. And what a year, though, it has been for the Indiana Hoosiers down there in Bloomington. And what a job Kurt Cignetti has done with this football team. Perfect season, regular season it is for the first time ever in school history. Not only that, they're the number 1 seed, as we mentioned, here in the college football playoffs, winning the Big Ten for the first time since 1967. I had a chance to talk to Coach Cignetti, and I asked him about just what the advice he would give his quarterback as he gets ready for the big game Thursday afternoon on New Year's.
I think it's really critical now, that he really developed a sharp edge in his preparation, and don't play like, I'm the Heisman Trophy winner and I've got to do this or do that. Because we've all been following this game long enough to know we've seen some of those performances, right? And, Alabama's defense, I think, is a challenge, not only because they got great players and they play really hard and fast, but schematically they do some things to try to throw you off rhythm. And so we've got to go in with a good, sound plan. But at the end of the day, it's all about execution.
So it's the Hoosiers against the Crimson Tide of Alabama. It should be a great matchup coming up on Thursday, New Year's Day here at the Rose Bowl. Kickoff is set to go at 4 o'clock, and we'll see if the Hoosiers can find a way to get the win and move on to the semifinals in Atlanta next week of the college football playoffs. Anthony Calhoun, Wish TV, and WishTV.com.
Certainly hoping that happens. Before the game kicks off today, you can see local high school students marching in the Rose Parade right here on Wish TV. Brownsburg Marching Band is set to march as a whole in the parade. 9 Carmel High School students will also be in the parade. They're part of the Bands of America Honor Band. Carmel High School Band shared this picture with us of the students who will be in the parade and says the school's former director of bands will conduct the honor band. Rose Parade starts at 11 this morning. Our time. You can watch it without any interruptions right here on Wish TV.
It's a new year, and New York City rang in 2026 with the annual Times Square ball drop. The tradition is perhaps the most famous celebration. Hopefully those two people that were just kissing are together for a long time, because that would be awkward to be on video forever.
Those ones too.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody kissing in New York. I hope you're together forever. It attracts people from all around the world. A whole lot of kissing, man. This year's Constellation Ball featured more than 5,200 Waterford crystals and LED lights. This is a unique year because you'll actually be able to watch the ball drop twice in 2026. The ball will be decked out in red and white and blue for America's 250th birthday in July.
Maybe more rounds of
kissing. So much kissing to celebrate the birthday for America. Wow, that was a lot. From early celebrations for families to traditional midnight countdowns, Hoosiers rang in the new year in all kinds of ways.
News 8's Malia Van Ostrin is here to show us how people welcomed 2026 here in central Indiana. Malia, first, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. It's great to be here this morning. And Hoosiers rang in the new year with unique celebrations for people of all ages, from daytime countdowns for kids to late night parties for adults. At the Children's Museum, families didn't wait until midnight. Kids counted down to noon, complete with music, glitter, and crafts, and a kid-friendly celebration marking the start of the year. In Arcadia, Indiana, families celebrated with yaks at Woolly Whack Ranch and Winery to ring in the new year, along with a balloon drop and party hat decorating. So you'll hear more about those events a little later on this morning. At the Indiana State Museum, families took part in the annual New Year's Eve celebrations with activities, exhibits, and an 8 p.m. countdown designed for younger kids. And as the evening rolled on, Tapper's Arcade Bar hosted a packed New Year's Eve party along with Fisher's Pinhead's Bowling Alley. We asked people what they were hoping to change or improve in the year ahead.
More for just like keeping positive and just like taking one day at a time. That's gonna be my resolution this coming year.
I am in school full time and I also work full time, so just trying to push through, graduate.
Get in better shape and to become more spiritually disciplined.
Make things a little bit better than they were last year is really all the best you can hope for. So
make things work for family, sort of thing.
Whether it was a midday countdown or a midnight celebration, many Hoosiers say the new year is about a fresh start and setting goals for the months ahead. In studio, I'm Leah Vito-Strand for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
Leah, thank you. Well, the new year does bring some changes for people in Indiana who use food assistance. Starting today, you can no longer use your SNAP benefits to buy candy or sugary drinks. News 8 government reporter Garrett Bergquist explains what's covered and what's not.
Governor Mike Braun put that restriction in place as part of the Trump administration's Make America Healthy Again initiative. There are some interesting exceptions to the new rule, though. Braun administration officials say the whole reason they're doing this is to live up to the nutrition part of Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program.
SNAP is to help people. It's in the name of SNAP. It's Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program. And very few people believe that sugary drinks and candy are nutritional.
Here's the short version. Beginning Thursday, candy is off limits. So are drinks that contain any sweeteners. Hunger relief workers say it's hard to tell how much SNAP users spend on those items.
SNAP benefits that almost all Hoosier families receive don't actually last the whole month. So they're using their income from their work. There are work requirements for all SNAP beneficiaries. So it depends. You could say that there's none being spent right now, or you could say that they're spending all of their SNAP dollars on that, depending on how they allocate their funds.
If it were 1% or whether it was 30%, we would still do it.
There are exceptions. For starters, potato chips and ice cream are still okay. So are baked goods such as cake or muffins. Robe says officials are still figuring out how to thread that needle.
It's more difficult to discern whether the nutritional or lack thereof value of a blueberry muffin versus a piece of bread versus a bagel versus cookies, right? Those are more difficult lines for retailers to draw than sugary drinks and candy. So we're starting with sugary drinks and candy.
Robe says it's a similar situation with some drinks. Pediatric electrolyte drinks and fruit juice are okay, but sports and energy drinks are now off limits. Lynch says the new rules likely will cause confusion and embarrassment at the point of sale. That's already a problem for SNAP users. He says there's nothing to stop people living close to a state line from simply going out of state either. But he says the new rule could also help educate people on healthier food options. Lynch says he'd like to see some incentives to buy those foods.
I would rather them work with retailers and grocers to try and see more opportunity to buy produce, buy healthier meats, lean meats, as well as opportunities to do farmers markets and fresh produce and meat from there.
Robe says the Family and Social Services Administration likely will ban more products from SNAP at some point, but it won't be right away. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV and WishTV.com.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at WishTV.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.